Happy Self-Love Sunday. I am Moe Sass, the host of Self-Love Sundays with Sass. I am a certified life coach who likes to consider herself an aid in the village that helps walk alongside of people throughout their journeys to having, being, and discovering the life of their dreams. So today, the last Sunday of 2021, the only thing I'm going to ask of you, whether new or someone who supported me in the past, is just to stick around the entire message. I promise it won't be too long. And I promise that it will be insightful and this content will help somebody today. And if you find that it does help someone, spread love by sharing it with everyone you know. So today, I'm just going to start off by telling you today almost didn't happen. So that's why the topic for today is because I did not quit. Because I did not quit. I should have started this off by saying, grab a journal. It's not that I'm going to have a bunch of like tools and tips. It's more about journaling after you listen to this, because I really believe that this is going to be so important because I did not quit. And the reason why I'm using that topic today is because it is the last Sunday of the year, and most people reflect and look back upon the things that did not happen, but they don't give themselves enough credit that because they did not quit, certain things happen in their life. And I'm going to give you a prime example. So I started this off by saying today almost didn't happen. Well, today almost didn't happen because I didn't wake up feeling at my best. Christmas, although we love to see all the pictures and the glamour and the beauty, everybody don't have the most amazing Christmas like them pictures, okay? There's some things that happen behind the scenes that people just don't know about, okay? And there were some feelings that I was having behind the scenes that, I woke up this morning and I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it. I was thinking about the way I wanted my Christmas to look and the things that I was originally supposed to do after Christmas, and not just because I really wasn't supposed to be here, So I was really like thinking about that, and I was in my feelings about it. So I wasn't thinking about the fact of, because I did not quit, all of the good things that happened. So I'm gonna give you an example. Because I didn't quit, yesterday on Christmas, we had what we call our families. We had a family Zoom because of COVID. We're not allowed to see each other. And towards the end, my aunts and my uncle, we stayed on and we talked. And we talked about things that we would have normally never, especially when I was coming up, discussed. We talked about healing. We talked about therapy. We talked about some of the spiritual gifts that I have inherited. And it was a conversation that needed to happen, that when I was coming up, because of the way the times were back in the 70s, the late 70s, 80s, and even the 90s, like when it came to, my parents and their parents, right, which is my grandparents and then my great-grandparents, these conversations would have never happened. But because I did not quit, because I decided that I was going to break some generational curses with myself and with my children, because I decided not to quit in my personal growth. I decided not to quit in my healing. We were actually able to have that conversation, and I didn't leave it. I didn't run from it. I didn't, because again, my one of my traits is avoidance. And because I did not quit, I learned that because I avoid conflict, the more conflict would come. So now I don't run from it anymore. I don't cower from it anymore. I don't, one of the things that I would do is I will always, get quiet, not necessarily speak my truth or speak up, because I did not quit on my personal development and growth. I believe that conversation last night was so healing on so many levels, not just for me, but for them. It was beautiful. So when we talk about this notion of, breaking generational curses and what that really looks like, because I didn't quit, that was something that was able to happen for my family. It was absolutely beautiful. So why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because sometimes we look for it to be a big thing. It's like, oh, because I didn't quit, I got $1 million in the bank. Beautiful. Love that. Not saying that we're not supposed to strive for that. But sometimes we have to look at other things that happen that are equally as money can't pay for what happened with my family. Like, there's not enough money you can give me for it to be better than what happened yesterday on Christmas with my family. You understand what I'm saying? It's like it's really taking a look at, because you didn't quit, what are all the things that happen? Money is cute. I'm not saying that. But I'm like, look at some of the other things. Because I didn't quit, I'm becoming a better person, and I'm learning how to maneuver things better with my children. Because I didn't quit, I love me more today than I would have ever in my 40 plus years of living have ever done. Because I didn't quit, I am really becoming the healer's healer. And what does that mean? I made this declaration that I was the healer's healer. And that mean, where does the healers, the strong people, where do they turn to when they are hurting? Who do they turn to when they need healing? I made that declaration. I don't know if I made the declaration more than, the assignment was handed to me. But because I didn't quit on me, I can stand in that for people. I can stand as that vessel for people. I can be the one that they can turn to, because there's no one else they feel they can turn to, because no one really understands the depths of which they had to crawl to get to where they are today. Because I talked about this before, where, we look on social media and we look to see, what people post, and then we see the finished product. We don't know what they had to climb through. We don't know who they had to bury. We don't know, how many times they cried. We don't know the depths of the depression that they had to go through. I am talking about me too. You don't know what people had to go through to get to where they are today. You just see the finished product of where they are right now. And you don't know what it took, what they had to give up to be that. You just see the finished product. So I made this declaration, like, listen, I wanted to be that person. Hence why I became, a life coach. Why I walk into this healing of wanting to be not just a person who gave Reiki to people, but wanted to become a master of it, to teach people. Because here's the thing I feel about being a healer. It's not just about you doing it or just being, it's about you teaching the next generation that's coming. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why reflection at this time is so important, because there are so many people that are going through depressive stages of thinking, I'm not quite where I thought I should be. But I need for you today, in this moment, to write down, because you didn't quit though, what else has happened? Because you could have quit. So many of us could have quit. You could have quit when you lost your child. I could have quit when my son was murdered. I could have quit the very first time I gave birth to my son and he died on the table. I could have quit. But because I didn't, I'm sitting here today talking to you about my pain, because I used it to catapult me into my purpose. So I'm asking you today to reflect on that very thing. Because you didn't quit, guess what happened? Because you didn't quit when you lost your job, you are now walking into the greatest season, or about to walk into the greatest season of your life. How do I know it? Because you're choosing to listen to something positive. You're choosing to turn me on. You're choosing to try to walk, to figure out how to maneuver through this thing, so that you can get to the next right thing, which is going to lead you to the next right step, which will help you walk into the greatest season of your life. Are you following me right now? Are you following me right now? Ask yourself, in this moment, because I didn't quit, what happened? Because there were some beautiful things that happened. Even if it was you leaving that situation that helped you gain more clarity about what you don't want, so that you can walk into the season to have what you do want. You see, like, I really need you to do, this is the last Sunday of 2021. I'm gonna need you to get up. I'm I'm going to need you to believe in the vision that God gave you. I'm going to need you to understand that this walk, this thing that you're going through right now, as I had to myself this morning when I was sitting on my deck, like, I don't feel like talking to the people today. But I had a revelation that because I didn't quit, look at the beauty of what I'm surrounded by. Because I didn't quit, all the things that I have accumulated, mind, body, and soul, that money cannot buy. Because I didn't quit, I have peace. You cannot buy peace. I want somebody to understand that today. You cannot purchase peace. Does that mean I'm saying that wealth, generational wealth, isn't important? Absolutely not, because I'm gunning for it. Hence another reason why I will never quit. Because my purpose wasn't designed for me. It was designed for my children's children's children. It was designed for anyone who comes across me, who touches me. Because if someone leaves you and they feel worse off than they did when they encountered you, then something's wrong. And granted, I'm a tough love type of woman, so that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to feel good. But I promise you, when you leave me, that you would have learned something about yourself. You would have learned something to take into your future. You would learn something to help you help your children or people who come across you. That part. Not everybody who comes in your life is meant to stay. And if you stop for a second and get out of resentment and anger and frustration, you may see that they've left you with a nugget. That's the journey. So when you sit down and start to reflect on, because you did not quit, what happened as a result of that? I need you to think about all the little things. Because you did not quit, your children are watching you, your friends and your family are watching you become a better version of you. Because you did not quit and you're becoming a better version of you, that's going to help somebody else see, you know what, if I just hang in there a little bit longer, if I just get up and wash my face, and I just get up and I listen to something positive, if I just get up and I give more than I take, that everything that God said that was for me, I am going to have. And no, I don't have a scripture for you today, but I have this face, this voice, this moment, this time to tell you that because I did not quit in the pit of my worst moments, I have peace and purpose and joy today. How about that? In this moment. Because happiness is not going to be all the time. It's not going to be all day, every day. Somebody lied to you, bruh. Somebody lied to you, sis. It's not going to be all day, but it's a choice. It's a choice that you can make. I made the choice when I was sitting on my deck and I was listening to a sermon to say, you know what? I'm going to decide to go take a shower, get dressed, and come here and walk in my purpose and not quit again. And not quit again. And every time you make that decision to say, I'm not going to quit, I'm not going to give up, I'm going to get up and I'm going to walk in this purpose. I'm going to speak this thing. I'm going to read that book. I'm going to talk to that person, right? Every time you make that decision, it gets you closer to your vision. It's the little thing that you walk out that gets you closer to the big thing. But it's not quitting when it seems dim. It's not quitting when you lost the love. It's not quitting when you've buried a family member. It's not quitting when you lost the job. It's not quitting when everything that seems to come up against you is coming up against you all at once. And you may not know what to do, but you make a decision not to quit. You make a decision to focus on, what is it, the one thing that I can do that can bring me out? That's If y'all only understood, when you make that decision and that choice, that is where the miracle happened. That is where the miracle happened. If you just make the decision to do the next right thing, if you just make the decision to get up, to wash your face, if you make the decision to turn on the positive things, if you make the decision to walk into the place that gives you peace and purpose, which for me is God, which for me is reading my Bible, getting into and touch with my higher power, my higher source. If you make that decision, that's where the miracle happens. Don't miss the miracle looking around at what everybody else is eating. Get on your plate, get with your higher source, and make the declaration today to say, I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to let the negative entity, the negative sources, the negative things that's coming in front of me, saying that what I have isn't enough, saying that what I'm doing isn't enough, saying that, what everybody else has is greater than what I have. Don't allow that to rob you of the miracle of you choosing to continue to live every day. Because there's so many people that's going through depression that's checked out, that left, they couldn't do it anymore. But you said, I'm not going to quit. Let that be the miracle. Let it be the miracle that you need today. Write down, because you didn't quit, all the beautiful things that's blossomed as a result. Let that be the catapult to take you into 2022, knowing that because you made this decision today, that I'm not going to quit and I'm not going to give up and I'm not going to give up on my love of a lifetime, that I'm not going to give up on my children, that I'm not going to give up on my prayer life, that I'm not going to give up on my higher power, that I'm not going to give up on my family members, that I'm not going to give up on my friends, that I'm not going, how about this, give up on me, that I'm going to have the miracle, the vision of what your higher source has given you, that you will walk in your purpose and you won't just break generational curses, that you will have generational wealth, that your children's children will be able to eat off of everything that you decided that you wasn't going to give up on. That's the miracle. It's the journey. I love you for listening. I hope that you have the most fantastic week. I really hope that you listened to this whole thing and took it in. I really hope that you understand that if you just make that decision today to journal on those things and don't quit, that everything is going to come. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful new year. I love y'all, and I'll see you in 2022, baby.